All right, if we could all find our seats, please. I'd like to welcome everybody for coming, and we certainly appreciate the great turnout. So we will start this evening with the Pledge of Allegiance. If we could all please stand. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'm going to refer to Dr. Gary Anderson to do our prayer this evening as well.
All right, if we can bow for a moment. Dear Lord, thank you for the opportunity to be together tonight, for everybody to take this time out of their busy schedule to come and to learn and to fellowship and to share. Be with those that couldn't be here tonight, be with them. There's many that are suffering physically, emotionally, mentally, and be with them and help us to have safe travel home and to let this food nourish our body. Amen.
Amen.
All right, we're gonna pause while we eat.
Okay, good. So we are going to start.
All right, everyone, thanks. Appreciate you going through the line as quick as you did. I'm Pastor Sir Governor Paul Hodge. I'm going to introduce myself to start with. We are going to finish at 8 o'clock regardless, so we're not going to go over. So we want to go ahead and get started. I'm going to turn it over first to past International Director, Dr. Gary Anderson, to go over LCI and whatever other topics he has, but I will keep him on time. So Dr. Anderson.
Got it. Thank you, Dr. Hodge.
You're done.
What?
You're done.
I'm done. Again, it's great to see so many people here. Thanks for coming on a Wednesday night, all the way from Middleville and Ravenna and all over and the other side of the district. So Lions International. And most of you that have been in the organization know that we're 1.4 million members. How many countries? 210 countries. More than 46,000 clubs. And where did Lions International start? Chicago, right? Chicago, Illinois, 1917. And then we're going to go through some history, but Lions International had been called for the first 102 years Lions Clubs International. Just recently, in the last 2 years, we've consolidated the name and we are now Lions International. And you'll see that in the front of the headquarters in Chicago, where the headquarters are located in Oak Brook. Lions International consists of two parts. Lions Clubs International, which is the membership, all of you. That's where your dues go when you pay dues, the Lions Clubs International, and then Lions Clubs International Foundation. You are all also members of the foundation. You don't have a choice because you are a member of the foundation, which doesn't cost you any more money. The foundation is the funding part to many of the things that we do as Lions. So when we go for grants, that's where the money comes from. It doesn't come out of our dues. It comes from the money that's raised from the public. So money from the public goes to the foundation, and how much of that money that goes to the foundation goes back to the public? You got a number, percentage? All of it. 100%. All right. How do they do that? Well, they don't spend it all. So they put some in the bank and they make a little interest on it. That helps fund some of the staff for Lions Clubs International Foundation. And your dues fund the rest of it for Lions Clubs International. Vision statement: to be the global leader in community and humanitarian service. Pretty simple. Tells us where we're going. The mission statement: what is our mission? It's to empower volunteers to serve their communities, meet humanitarian needs, encourage peace, and promote international understanding through Lions Clubs. And of course, our motto is, we serve. It's pretty simple. Why be a member? Why be a member? We're helping community members in need locally and worldwide. Leadership development is a huge part of Lions International. They don't tell you that when you come in. And Cheryl will attest to this. When we met in high school, I was a shy, quiet guy.
Hard to believe.
I was confident, but I was a shy, quiet guy. And through Lions International, from being a member for 45 years and having leadership opportunities and being in front of people, I can stand in a stadium of 30,000 people and not pee my pants. So it's amazing what it does. The leadership development helps you be a better lion, a better person in your family, better in your community, better in your office. Teaches us so many things that we don't get in other places. Also, membership, we're working hands-on to meet the needs. How many have ever felt what it's like to make a difference in someone's life? Everybody in here that's a lion. That's what makes us a lion. And we also have this great opportunity to network. When you look at, after you've been in Lions for a while, and you look at who your friends are, you meet people from all across the board. And your friendships and the stuff you do is everlasting. So Lions Club is organized the following way. Lions International is the parent on the top, and the headquarters are in Oak Brook, Illinois. Then the multiple district 11, which is Michigan, the Lower Peninsula of Michigan, which we'll talk about a little later. And then this one would be your individual club. So there's international, there's your multiple district, which is the state basically. And then our district, which is 11C1, which is the 6 counties in West Michigan, they'll talk about, and then your own club. Lions International. History. 1917, Melvin Jones founded it. The real truth is Lions Clubs International started in Texas 2 years earlier. But they had a discussion and they went through and they ended up officially forming in 1917. So Lions International actually started in Texas. 1920, Lions Club became international. You know why?
Detroit, Windsor.
Windsor. Detroit club sponsored a club in Canada, Windsor. What was going on in 1920? Prohibition. Okay, so the Detroit Renaissance Lions Clubs went across the river to drink. And they're having fun over in Windsor. And everybody said, who are you guys? Because it was all guys then. And they said, well, we're Lions Clubs. That's what precipitated us becoming international. Them going over to Windsor. They are the second constitutional area. 1925, Helen Keller challenged the Lions at Cedar Point to become the Knights for the Blind and Visually Impaired, which started our first service mission of vision. And 1945, United Nations, the Lions Clubs are the first non-governmental organization on the signing of the United Nations Charter. Leo started in 87, in 57, 68, the foundation started, 87, what a great year. Lions Clubs were the first service organization to welcome women into the association, and now we are 40% female around the world. With great female leadership, I can tell you, because we wouldn't be alive as a service organization now without them being members today. And the name was chosen, Lions Clubs International, on a secret ballot. And they think it was named because of lions, the animal. That was just taken as the symbol. What was going on in 1917 in the world? World War I. And so Lions really stood for initially liberty, intelligence, our nation's safety. That's what it stood for, and they used the lion emblem. More recently, Sid Scruggs, when he was president in 2010, and they added a new one. It's really loving individuals offering needed service, and I think that's a good description for today. The logo, the lion facing backwards to our proud past and forward to the great future, and the L in the middle, which stands for love, liberty, lions, a lot of things. Structure, we have the international structure, and how much is the international president paid a year? Nothing. How much is every volunteer who's in any kind of position in Lions Club paid? Nothing, right? So there is no paid positions as a lion. The only paid positions are at headquarters where those staff members are working for us. That's what our dues paid for. So everything that is done from every lion member, they do without pay. So it's all volunteer. You have an international president this year who is not Diana. International president is who? Dr. Patty Hill from Canada. First vice president is Peanut Gallery. who's our first vice president. Fabricio Oliveira from Brazil. Second vice president is AP Singh from India. Third vice president is Mark Lyon from Connecticut. So that is our structure. That is the executive officers. There are 34 members of the board of directors and 8 board appointees. Those 34 members of the board, there's 17 elected each year, and it's a 2-year term. That's what I was privileged to serve as an international director on the board for 2 years, 2010 to 12. And you have to get endorsements, you have to run for it. It's kind of a process to get there. But the 34 members and the 8 board appointees that are appointed by the president oversee the organization for the period that they're on the board. So that's the volunteer board that basically runs the organization. Oak Brook, 295 staff member, 11 divisions. And you look at all of that and say, what do our dues pay for when we send them to international? Club supplies and distribution, the conventions, international conventions that are put on, which will be in 2 weeks, will be in Melbourne. District and club administration, which is the assistance the governor gets and all the officers get for your district. Extension and membership, which is starting new clubs and helping bring in new members. Finance, obviously money. IT, the big new rollout of the Lion portal, which I'm going to show you really quick at the end of this. Service activities, leading all the service projects that we do around the world. Leadership training, legal, the foundation, and public relations. That's what your dues pay for, along with every activity that you do that's a Lion planned activity. You are covered by liability insurance, which most other organizations don't have. So when you're doing something and you're doing it legally, okay, if you're doing it illegally, you're still going to get in trouble. But if you're doing it legally, you are covered by liability insurance. And so are the people that you're taking care of. If the public comes and slips and falls and has an accident, we're covered by that liability, which is a great asset. We're multiple district 11, which means we were the 11th area to start as Lions. Melvin Jones founded my club, Grand Rapids, in 1919. And we are, as you see there, we're the lower part, 11C1. That's the orange. We're somewhere in here. This 11C1 right there. There's 10 districts in the lower peninsula. There's 1 district up in the upper peninsula. They were actually founded first 2 weeks before Grand Rapids was. And they were a multiple district, meaning they had several districts up there. And the reason they had to decide, do we make that part of Michigan, even though it is Michigan? They didn't have a bridge then. Okay, they weren't connected, but that was Michigan. So that's why they made that their own multiple district, which was 10. And now it's a single district because they've lost members. So that's why they're separate from us, even though we're trying to now combine us because the bridge really does work. So there's 750 districts in the world. Every district has a leader, which is a district governor. Our incoming district governor is Cheryl Anderson, who is leading this, and she will be in charge overseeing for the next coming year. And along with all of her, and Vice District Governor Earl, where's Earl? Earl Howell right there. So again, we are the only state in the country, in the US, that has 2 multiple districts. Again, it started because we didn't have a bridge, we weren't connected. But now, maybe someday we'll come back together. Again, Marquette was founded up there in October. Grand Rapids was founded in November. And Muskegon, we have anybody from Muskegon Host? Muskegon Host, you're north side, you're only 50 years old, okay? Your club. So Muskegon Host was founded 2 weeks after Grand Rapids, so. I'm gonna go real quick to the line, to the new portal because I have 2 minutes. So they've spent a lot of time and money on improving the website. Maybe. There we go. So when you go in, you really just need to know your member number, which if you don't know that, talk to your club secretary or look at your magazine that you get because it's on that magazine. your member number, and that's something that you should put in your phone all the time, because that identifies you, that stays with you forever. You go down here, go to the Lion portal, and I'm already logged in. It's pretty easy to go through that process. There'll be some more training on doing that. You pick it, so my email address is my username. You pick your password. And the new portal is actually pretty nice for getting information. Before we had two separate things, you didn't know which to go to. Now it's under one. You can look at my membership, look up underneath there, and find out everything about you. Maybe you don't want to know anything about me. Just details and stuff, and your club and where you live. Your club information, you can find all kinds of stuff here. Let's just take your club. So if you're looking for members in your club and you want to see their phone number or their address, and you don't have a directory, you can go right here and find it. So here you look at your club members, you see over on that side here that's scrolling, all your club members are listed there. You can view all of them and look up that information and get it. So it's much easier to get information, get you to service that you're doing, reports, learning, teaching. You're going to hear later about some different links to go to all the videos and all the training that's available from Lions International. Let's see if I screwed it up. So when you want to learn something, go to Learn. It's got all types of videos and stuff. So I am done. Anybody have a question or two about Lions International? Good. So I hope I didn't throw too much junk at you.
Well done. Thanks, Gary. Give me a hand. Thank you. Before we introduce our next speaker, again, there is more food in the kitchen, so feel free during the presentations to just go in and help yourselves.
That's the Lion Learning Center. You just go to online learning and hit the yellow button. It's got all kinds of stuff. You can just scroll right through it. It's kind of like being on Amazon. So it's really great.
Only cheaper.
It's free. It's free, yes.
Immediate delivery.
Just keep paying
Just
your
like
dues.
that.
I have a question. This is Heidi.
Hi, Dave. Yes.
Hi, Gary. Hey, when you go online now, I used to be able to say either as a Lion member or as like I'm a Leo advisor or a zone chair. I used to be able to change those titles so that I could get into my Leo group. How do I do that online now? I didn't see a way to do that.
I think the district administrator has to do that right now for you. Okay?
Oh,
So you can send, there's a contact, if you send an email and contact LCI and ask them that question, they will respond very quickly. Does that make sense?
okay.
So that you don't have to
Yes.
ask for help? Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Ask for help and then they'll get back to you. If you have trouble with that, email Cheryl.
Thank you.
Always email Cheryl.
Perfect.
Always.
All right, we're going to move on to our next presentation, which I'm going to introduce our district governor-elect, Cheryl Anderson.
I want to say, like my screen says, welcome. You guys are our future leaders. I'm so happy you're here. I thought nobody was coming. This is wonderful. Thank you. From the bottom of my heart. So what I want you all to do, we need to take a break. We just ate. We just heard wonderful information. I want you to all stand up.
Walking towards the east of US
Okay,
130.
you're gonna learn to like this.
This flag sector is moving in. It's going to push all of our flags that are up.
I want you to put your hand either, you have a choice, your head or your tail. You're gonna put your hands. Put your hands right now, head or tail. Ready? Here we go. Tails. Whoever has their hands on their head, sit down.
Oh.
Then you gotta sit down. Then you gotta sit down. You're wrong. Okay, again, heads or tails. You choose. Heads or tail. Where do you want your hand? Head. Anyone with tail, sit down. Okay, last time, was it just you three?
Sure.
Oh, and Bob. Okay, pick again, heads or tails, what do you want? No, that's not right, that didn't go right. Tails. Anybody have their hands on their tails? Okay, we may do that again later. Easy game, you can't, I mean, it doesn't make you look dumb. Doesn't make you look dumb. I hate games that make you look dumb. All right, so what we're gonna discuss quickly, which I gotta go fast now because I just did heads or tail, is I wanna, I gotta talk about the presidents. You are the ringmaster of your club. Any presidents in this room? Any future presidents in this room? You are wonderful. Thank you. You are the ringmaster of your club. You're the one that's gonna bring everything together. You're the one that has to demand information. So you need to know what's going on in your club. As it says here, I'm not gonna read it all. You're just the chief officer of your club. You appoint people, you plan, conduct your meetings, you manage elections, leadership, and you should know Robert's rules. Now, there is a link that I have on here also, and I will mail this PowerPoint out electronically. That's why I needed your addresses. That will talk about presidents and vice presidents if you want to pursue it further. Okay, that's what a president does. Everybody understand what a president does? Okay, vice president, any vice presidents in the room? 1, stand up. Awesome. 2, stand up. 3, stand up. Come on, 4, we're growing. 5, look at that. All right, you are the vice president. What do you think your responsibility is? What's your responsibility?
Be a slave to the president.
You know what? I like it. I like it. And that is right. You are basically following in the president's footsteps. You're making sure he's staying online and you are getting ready if he's not there to take his place. Hopefully he's not out hunting instead of coming to his Lions meeting, but, or her, I'm sorry, or her. So you may sit down. So you are also managing your club, you're helping, you're basically supporting your president, and there is a link there as well, and I will send that out. Do we have any club secretaries in the room? Stand up. You're my favorite. Stand up. Yay. To me, you are the soul of the club. You are the communicator. You are the one that you get information from LCI, you'll get information from me, you'll get information from your zone chairs as to what is going on in the district or in the state or at LCI. You are the most important link in your club. And when I send something out, if somebody can send me back a thumbs up or something, so I know you got it, that'd be wonderful. If you sent it out, if I said, please send this out to your club, I get a thumbs up. I'm assuming you sent it out to your club. That's important, that you are the communicator of the club. Have all of you that are here put in your new officers.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys are awesome. And anybody that's a club president, if your secretary is not here, please verify that you have put in your incoming officers. Because that's important to keep us online. After, believe it or not, after July 1, and I think it's really the end of June, you can't put in officers. It's really, really, really difficult. Although maybe the new portal made it easier.
Can you move the screen? It's on presidents.
Well, I screwed up. There you go. I hit the wrong button. So what does it say here? See, to me, this is a very important position. That's what I say. I love the secretaries of the club. All right, let's go on to club treasurer. Do we have any club treasurers in this room? Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4. Awesome. You guys are the money people. You have to keep everything straight. You have to know what was donated by the public or what was given to you by a fellow Lion. Anything given to you by a fellow Lion, you can do with it what you want. Anything given to you by the public has to go back to the public in some sort of donation to an association, to a function, something. Now, I was once asked this, and I did find this out. If you want to raise funds and you don't want to do a fundraiser per se, you can have a garage sale, even though the money is coming in from the public, as long as there's nothing about Lions in the whole garage sale, nothing about any information about it, it just looks like it's in your garage and you're getting money in, you can then take that money and put it to your club for administrative costs. It does not have to go back to the public. So if you need to raise money, I'm always looking for ways to raise money. All right, let's go on. Who do we have next? Club membership chair. How many, Ed? Are you club membership chair? I didn't ask it. I was gonna say, how many clubs in here have a club membership chair? Ed does. Bill does. Oh, so quite a few. Good, that used to be a position that most clubs didn't have, and we really need a membership chair because it's designed to attract new members into your club, correct? And when the new member comes, what does the Okay, I want you to think about this. If you're the membership chair and you have recruited somebody to join your club, I mean, somebody probably brought them, but you basically have said, I want you to join the club, I'll give you an application, yada, yada, yada. Okay, and then they show up at the door. It's your job to welcome them. It's actually your job to call them ahead of the meeting and say, hey, I'm gonna be at the meeting tonight. You coming? I'll meet you at the door. Come on in and we'll have dinner together. Come on in and we'll have a drink together. You have to make them welcome, because if they don't feel welcome, what are they gonna do? Turn around and walk out. So you have a very important job, especially lately, because believe it or not, that's why our dues have increased. You know, we're getting an increase in dues because our membership is so freaking low. So they have to make up the money somehow. And that's your job. I know. All right. The next one, club service chair. How many of your clubs have a club service chair? This is kind of a fun position. Nobody. You, okay, a couple. Well, it's Wyoming.
Same travel. I will.
All right. This is a very important and also a new position that your club should think about. If you are a service organization, you should be doing service. Now, you may have some big fundraisers, but what about only once a month, once every 6 weeks? Do some service in the community, do a kids basket, do a Meals on Wheels, go wash some glasses, because they just went to Rockford. Do some sort of service. So as the service person, it's kind of hard on them because they have to come up with something to think of to do, and maybe you can help them. But you know what? When you do service in your club, guess what? You become closer. You become more of a intricate group. It's a great thing to do and something to think about. Other than your big fundraisers, just do a service or just do a little service project once a month, once every 6 weeks. I want you to think about it. What do you think about it? Do I need to have you stand up again?
And please report to services.
And please report your service, but you're gonna get
Let
to
the world know what Lions do.
We do great. Okay, club marketing chair. Anybody have a club marketing chair? Yeah, we need this. That's good. We need this. We gotta tell the world what we do. And recording or reporting our service is great, but if we don't put it down somewhere or show anybody what we're doing, how does anyone know what we do? So if you don't have a marketing chair, you might want to stick this in with the service chair. You might want to have a committee. Do you have a Facebook page? In fact, what we're going to do this year in the roster book this year, which all the presidents will get from all the clubs, I'll be sure to do that. And I'm going to come visit you all really soon. But anyway, if you have a Facebook page or a website, we're going to put that in the roster book for you. So people can look at it and see what you're doing and say, hey, they did that. I can do that too. You know, let me do that. So be prepared for me to ask you if you have a Facebook page or a website. Okay, I'm almost done. Now, even though this really isn't at the club level, we have what's known as zone chairs. Can I have all my zone chairs please stand up? There they are. Stand up. Now get up. All right. Now, these are the people that are going to be contacting you every month for me. They're going to give you a phone call. I want to know what you're doing. I want to know what's going on. If nothing's going on, I'm coming down to find out why not. Because this year I am putting together a newsletter. And I'm going to be sending a newsletter out. I'd like to say monthly. I don't know how much I can get done, but I'm going to do that. And I'm going to have all the clubs listed. And if you've done something, you're going to have it under your name. If you've done nothing, it's just going to be your club name with nothing. It'll be listed every month and people will know who's been busy and who hasn't been busy. And maybe I need to come down and kick your butt. So be thinking about that as well. These are your zone chairs. If you don't know what zone you're in, I can read off the zones, but we'll do that later.
I have a question. This is Tammy. So could you do me a favor by texting me first before you call so that I can program the phone number in my phone? Because if you call my phone, you're just gonna go right to voicemail.
Okay, and Tammy, what club are you in?
Wyoming.
Your zone chair is
Cheers.
Sheriff, so Sheriff knows to do that. Sheriff, did you hear to do that? Okay,
Oh, I already have Cheris's information. I'm good.
okay, so we also have on the website Lions University Lions Training. And they can do, you can go out to that website, and that actually was developed by a guy during the USA Canada Lions Leadership Forum. And it's a whole program that you can do bachelor's, master's, doctorate, but you don't have to do it. You just go out there to get information. And I will send you these links. However, once you get past the club level, then you have to do the bachelor degree to get into the master's level, which is zone chair. But under the bachelor level, of course, 121 starts out with the presidents and what they do. So it's kind of fun. If you do that, you can go to the USA Canada Forum and walk across the stage and get a little diploma. Kind of fun. Okay, the last thing is what we have for district and club from Lions International. Those are your websites that they have. And excuse me, and on your right hand side, I'm looking left, but it's your right hand side. There are several chairpersons that I still need for the district leadership. If any of those categories are interest to you, please let me know. Right now, Bear Lake Camp is in need of volunteers, is in need for me to have a volunteer to go there. They're in need of money. I think I sent out a letter from the director the other day. They last year, 2 years ago, only had 300 campers, and all the campers go free. And it's all different kinds of camp: diabetic, visually handicapped, hearing, autistic, all kinds of camps, and the kids all go free. This year she has 1,100 children coming. Isn't that wonderful? I mean, that's a great problem, but they're running low on funds. Yeah, it's awesome. So if you have any extra funds in your club or would like to do a prize sale and send some money to them, they would appreciate that very much. Now, what I'd like to do, just so you all know, my district team this year, so if you have any complaints about anything, I have my cabinet secretary, Diana Robot, stand up. You'll be getting correspondence from her, and I hope you'll respond back to her. My cabinet treasurer is Deb Davis, Rockford. My first vice district governor, Earl Howe. And like I said, we've got we got room for a second vice district governor if anybody wants it, because you start training as soon as you become a second vice district governor. There we go. Okay, my global leader train team is Dr. Paul Hodge. My global service team is Ron Reebschlager. No, it's Bob Hohendorf. Bob Hohendorf. He's membership because he's supposed to get members, so.
I was taking one for the team.
Yeah. And then there's a brand new member to this team, and it's called the GET, G-E-T. It's for extension. It's to help promote clubs and promote branch clubs. So if any of you have any questions about starting the club, the branch club, you got a club, you got some people, and the best way to do it is to get 2 or 3 people in your club and tell them, hey, you guys are awesome, get together, figure out a project. And don't tell them we've done this before. I hate that. Don't tell them it won't work. Just tell them, go for it. We're behind you. Just whatever you want to do, we'll do it. And let them go, and they'll be excited. They'll be part of the group. And you got excited members and possibly a new project. So, and then I have zone chairs, which you've already met. If you just need to know where they're at, I'll be happy to let you know where they're at. Any questions? Did I do my time? I'm okay. Okay, question. Oh. Did you have that? Gary Anderson. He's up, but he's not here. So, but it's Gary. So the big, bald, tall guy will come to your club. In fact, when I visit your club, he's not coming with because he's just a distraction. He can come like that if I visit you 2 or 3 times, then I'll bring him along. But my first time, he's staying home with the dog. Yes, Cindy.
Anyone here tonight collecting the money for Bear Lake or not?
No, but I'll be happy to send it over or whatever. Deb, you gonna collect it?
We can. Absolutely, bring it on.
Yep. Okay, any other questions? Are we good? Are we gonna have a great year? Come on, yes. All right, thank you for coming again. I really do appreciate it.
Thank you, District Governor-elect Cheryl. Let's give her a hand for her time putting that together as well. Our next esteemed speaker is going to be, oh, never mind. Past District Governor Bob Hohendorf is going to be talking about service, since he's a GST for the district, and a few other things as well. But let's welcome Bob.
Thank you, President Governor. It is nice to see a lot of faces I recognize and a lot of new faces. It's even nicer to see. So glad everybody, and I'd like to thank all the setup work and the work that Rockwood Club did to get the meeting ready for us. So thank you very much. I often ask myself, we have all these levels in Lions, and I'm wondering, why do we have a district? And that was a question that bothered me for a long time. I see a lot of clubs that like to stay in their community and do just community work, which is great. That's what Lions do and Lions serve. But if there is a district, what is it supposed to be doing? What's the value of the district? And so I have a handout in front of you. That's what that is. And there, the points I went down and listed on why districts are important. I think the first one is that Lions International's constitutional bylaw says we have to have one. That's the main point. And I think other than that, being a past district governor myself, and being coerced into the role. It was fun as I went through it. And it made me appreciate all the clubs in the district. And I think that's one of the main things that the district does, is it's club support. It's direct support for each and every one of your clubs. It starts with the zone chair. They'll come around, they'll visit your club. They'll look at the club. You can discuss things with them. It's your link to the district is through that zone chair. And so when they come to visit, welcome them into your club. I think that the part of club support is enabling ideas and problem share. Like Cheryl mentioned, in the newsletter is going to come up. Who's doing service projects? What are they? Sharing what other clubs are doing, because maybe that's something you can do or something you can pass on to other clubs in your district. And I'm talking about not just what we used to do and didn't work, okay, but what's new and what does work, okay, and how to be able to try it. You have amazing amount of experience in these 6 counties of past district governors and leadership to be able to also help your club problem solve. When it runs into a problem, it's there to be able to help you as a resource with all the experience that they have. I think also very important is one of the things we're doing tonight. Education, club education for our members. And it starts, Pastor Governor Paul is our leadership chair. He puts on programs. He can direct you to anything on the website to be able to, what's the president supposed to do? What the secretary, like Cheryl reviewed. It's all there in writing. There's even training or videos. So you can listen if you're not up to wanting to read all of that. So I think that's a very important part, is our officer training. We also facilitate district, state, and worldwide project information. What's going on at the national level comes through the district to be able to come to you and your clubs. What's going on at your clubs also needs to go the other way too. International needs to know what our concerns are. And one of the ways you do that is through our own district. And I think that's very important. One of my favorites is it's as I learned as I was put into the second vice governor slot, was on the job training. And there was help all the way. It's amazing the trainings Gary was talking about, the amount of leadership training that is available through Lions, not just in Lions Club. As Gary talked about, it's life leadership skills. It enables you to be much more self-confident. As Gary said, I'm not always the most talkative. And yet at one point in my career, I actually lectured in front of 3,000 people. It was being interpreted in 4 different languages. Talk about scared. However, I gave the material that I was prepared to present, and it went rather well. And part of that was because I could get up in front of a group of friends, Lions, and part of that was some of my Lions training. So don't be afraid to step up. Okay? Cheryl talked about PR, about how we need more, we need to become more community visible. So that's just PR. PR is kind of sales, I guess, even, but it's what we're doing to get that out into the public and let them know. It can be something as subtle as one of the gifts you're going to get tonight is a little miniature lion pin. Wear it. Wear it when you go places. It starts conversation. It lets you know that you're a visible part and you're proud to be a lion. It's not a big pin. It's not garish. It's very subtle, very tasteful, and a nice way to communicate. Wearing our vests, wearing our Lions identification, especially when we're doing fundraisers and we're doing service projects. Okay. When I just installed 6 beds yesterday for Sleep in Heavenly Peace out of the Kellogg'sville chapter. And I have my Lions shirt and my Lions hat on. I have my brother who volunteers. I give him a temporary Lions hat to wear when he volunteers. Hopefully, he'll be a member one of these days. All right. We also, I think, and an important part of Lionism, even though I don't particularly like it personally, recognition. I don't do this and do Lions things for recognition. However, when we do them, the recognition I think is extremely important in order to be able to help build confidence, in order to be able to help build new leaders. Part of that is being recognized for what you do. It may not seem like much to you when you do it, but it's awful big for the people who receive that help and that service. Okay. And please, if you have, please report your services. We need to let each other know in our district. We need to let the state know. We need to let the world know what we as Lions do. I don't think it's a bad thing to do that. We're tooting our own horn, but nobody else does. And I think more people need to know what Lions do, especially if we're going to grow. So thank you very much.
Thank you, PDG Bob. Our next speaker is coming back.
Okay, we need to stand up. You guys are trying to talk. We need to stand up. Heads or tails, let's do it. I got one right here. Go on, come on. If you don't want to do it, stay seated because that's how you get out. Okay. All right. All right, heads or tails, what are you doing? No, heads or tails. Where's your hand?
Do it quick.
If you do it on both, you're out automatic. Tails.
I'm out.
Anybody on head, sit down. It's tails. So yeah.
All right, pick again, heads or tails.
Tails, quick. Ready? Tails again. Anybody on head, sit down.
All the tails stand and keep. Okay.
Okay, ready? Head or tail?
Pick your next one now.
Head.
Your head keeps standing. All right, pick your next spot.
Here we go. Okay. Head.
All the heads stay up. There's 4 or 5.
Yeah,
All right.
sit down. Okay, ready?
Pick your head or tail.
Head.
Heads. That'd be Earl, looks like.
Anybody left?
Earl.
Earl.
I had heads too.
All right, thanks for your participation in that. Before we introduce our next speaker, who is going to be talking about membership, I met a gentleman here today that's at his first official Lions meeting from Rockford. Chris, if you would stand up. Chris is a fairly new member to Rockford, and he made the decision to come today to learn some more things about Lionism. So welcome. Appreciate that. When did you join?
When did you join?
Okay, perfect. Welcome again.
Welcome.
So appreciate that.
Or end of last year or something like that?
Or, last 6 or 12 months. Okay,
We have one that just joined in May.
here?
Yeah.
Where?
Here.
Well, congratulations. Thanks for coming. Thank you. Anybody else here that's 6 months or so a new member? Look at the Rockford guys. Go ahead and stand up. Yep. We got Lions Mirror over here. No? Okay. You're not gonna stand up. That's okay. All right, our next speaker is gonna talk about membership, our GMT, Dr. Rob Riepschleiger, past district governor.
Hey, thank you. Hey, welcome to Rockford, everyone.
No, first say thank you.
Thank you. I'm not thanking, we all are thanking you for the Bear Lane Camp donations tonight. Deb or Cheryl will get that to the right place. Obviously, Lions are more generous than the average person out there because than the average bear. Yes, Scooby-Doo. About myself, I'm past district governor a couple of years ago. I too was not a huge fan of speaking in front of crowds, and I still am not really. But everyone refers to Lions training. Some of you new folks, or some of you less new folks, don't realize that the Lions have a lot of training, like in the fall up at Higgins Lake. It's a camp, and they teach you how to improve all kinds of your self actions, worth, problem solving, conflict resolution, that kind of stuff that you can apply to everyday skills. It's not just for being a Lion leader, although the more you learn, the more you become a leader in general. Now, these last couple of folks, well, other than Bob, spoke really fast. Okay, I had one of those days where this is my highlight of the day, and not in a bad way, because I actually like seeing all my old friends. Today was one of those days where I didn't get food, didn't get sleep, didn't get this, and I was conflict resoluting a lot. So I said, I screamed right over here, and I was glad I didn't have to go first. But my topic today is from LCI. They have a mission 1.5. Okay, 1.5 stands for 1.5 million members. I also get to speak on membership. I'm the district's leader for membership, the membership team, global membership team. I'm also the state leader for the membership team. And somewhere in there, I'm the GAT, Global Action Team leader for the Midwest, okay, which is who all of those GSD, GMTs, and all those initials answer to. Yeah, sure. They answer to me also, and I turn them off. But anyways, so let's get going. Mission 1.5 GMT, Global Membership Team, Global Membership Approach. GMA is Global Membership Approach. We'll get to that later on. I've got literally 2 1-hour lectures that I'm going to crunch down to 15 minutes. So I might have to speak faster like Cheryl and get the Ritalin out or whatever that is that makes you go fast. Okay, or with all those titles, I simply like to go by Dr. Ron or Lion Ron. Tonight I'm Lion Ron. Anyone wants me, yell Lion Ron, except for John, and I'll respond. You're going to learn that Lions Club International has a gazillion abbreviations that I would bet most of you folks don't follow with the GMA, GST, BFD, and the VP and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, BFF, well, they know what BFF is, but PDG, past district governor. Gary's the big shot around here that he's hiding up there. He's an PID, he's a PID, past international director, and there's only like 28 of them, and they're active, 28 of them. But anyways, there's all kinds of initials. And when you think that's a lot of initials, there is more. I mean, you got all these things. The one that I'm going to come back to, district governor, well, what are you? Your first district governor officially. District governor elect. Left off one important position of tail twister and lion tamer. Now, if you're an experienced lion, you know what all those folks do. But I'm coming back to that one because I think it's really, really important in the average club. Because the average club needs to have fun. A lot of clubs don't have fun, but we'll come back to that also. So for the GMT, Global Membership Team uses GMA. GMA is Global Membership Approach, okay? Years ago, LCI, Lions Club International, I'll translate, and I'm trying not to use too many terms because I hate those terms, but they used to say, hey, we need more members. Just ask one was one of the campaigns. Just ask one. Just ask one. Bring your friend, bring your countryman, bring someone in. And they ask them, and I will prove to you anytime you want to challenge me that it's easy to get a new lion in the door. I've won lots of bets when I used to visit clubs that I could walk out into the alcoholic beverage drinking area and recruit someone just by sitting at the bar and talking to the guy next to me and saying, hey, you ever heard of the Lions? And of course, they all think it's Detroit Lions. Yeah, Detroit, we got two teams over there. Renaissance Club and the Wayne State. But then they say, what are you talking about? And you go into the spiel of what we are and who we do. But since the last few years, LCI, Lions Club International, is realizing that instead of just saying you have to, I know, but they can hear me. Can you folks hear me? All right, never mind. We're gonna go back to the speaking. The GMA is the Global Membership Approach, all right? So instead of just asking one, they said, you know what? Let's just try and keep one, all right? Because we gain over 1,000 lions in Michigan every year. The problem is we lose about 1,200. All right, and it's not due to deaths and they're all a bunch of old people and all that. That technically doesn't count towards our net figures. And there's very, very few that we actually lose to death. It's they get distracted and they say, oh, not really caring. Oh, why bother? It's on a Thursday. I could go bowling instead. But when you start getting the global membership approach and you get one person fired up, all of a sudden they're having fun. And people say, like, you know, why is Brian enjoying going to these meetings? He hates going to these meetings, but he also likes going to the meetings because he likes to hang out and talk and see the rest of his family, I guess. But there's lots of similarities in membership and this mission 1.5. So we're going to do a little, well, we'll skip the video. This is what LCI wants me to teach you. It's psychological safety, a social connection, and I'll work up to the self-actualization. If anyone went to college and majored in psychology, that's Maslow's theory of us being truly happy. Okay, that's a starting at the bottom and working to just a small little top number. I like to be slightly contradictory here and turn their recommendation upside down. This is us down here, us little old members. Each one of us is just a member, okay? Now we take our member, and this one moving up one step is we need to respect our fellow members. We need to have some pride in our clubs. We need to make it fun, and we need to do service. There's absolutely no reason that service cannot be fun, okay? Sometimes our club in Rockford has fun for no good reason, okay? We'll have a social event. We'll meet downtown, we'll wear our vest, and we'll wander downtown. Last time we did, we installed a bench and then we walked around downtown. Everyone's like, what are you guys up to? And we're just having fun. And pretty soon they say, I might want to try that because it looks kind of fun. Then all of a sudden you get some new members, you get some new ideas, you get some new ideas, you get some new service, and it's a huge snowball that just starts rolling and picking up speed. And then if you want to get real fancy, you come up here. That's where Gary, our GET, the extension expert, comes in. And if you have people that have a common interest, I'm talking to a guy that has a bicycle riding club. And I said, hey, why don't you make that a Lions Club? Of course, well, why would we do that? Said, well, then every time you have a bike ride once a week, you can call that a Lions meeting and you're suddenly insured. He says, oh, there's a lot of crazy drivers out there. And I said, well, that's part of the deal. You get insurance for all your events and they have a common interest and they can take their common interest. And if they're fundraising, they can send it to a common goal. It's that club's, whatever they want to do, they can do. And then we can answer to LCI and say, look at what we're doing. Because now we're working like a machine and it's just growing and growing and growing and growing. So let's see, how can the Lions have fun? Okay, the more membership, the more service, the more service, the more fun, and the more of it we do, it just keeps growing. And it sometimes becomes accidental. I know Chris was telling me that Ravenna's cooking on new members. You know, you're gaining members, gaining some young members, having some more ideas. And those young people like to do a lot of the work and we're not too proud to let them do it. So in Rockford, we've gained, I hate to use us for an example, but I know our club the best. We've gained, let's see, a year or two ago, we were in the 90s. And then we cleaned out the roll of the roster, the people that don't bother paying and don't bother coming and don't bother showing up and all that kind of stuff. And we dropped to middle 60s at the beginning of this year. I think, Deb, what did we just crossed like 104 or 103? We suddenly have caught fire and we're 103, we're fun, we're the place to be, we're hopping and rocking, and we're the most active service club in the area. Why? Because we enjoy coming to meetings. Our meetings are fun. We have a raffle, you know, we have a 50-50 drawing, we sometimes have food, we have Dave the bartenders who came out tonight, and there you go. Hand for Dave, thank you very much. Everybody loves the bartender. Unless Dave, well, everybody loves Dave. So now, if you take one person, how one person besides the bartender can make a difference. Yeah, that table, we're gonna have to cut that table off back there. But one person that District Governor-elect Cheryl didn't mention is the tail twister. Okay, they're not real common of a position, but how do you set the mood in a club? Okay, the tail twister used to be the bad guy. If you didn't wear your pin, if you didn't wear your vest, if your phone went off, something like that, he would fine you. Yeah, well, we had a gentleman in our club, hypothetically, that used to fine Ron about 6 or 7 times a night and not fine anyone else. And he thought it was hilarious. Okay, Ron tolerated it and then promptly got someone else elected the next year. So we're friends, and he just thought it was funny to pick on me, and I said, I hate that tail twister. But now, the tail twister, they celebrate Happy Bucks, for one example, okay? Here's the official rule. What's the tail twister doing? This is an example of how one person in a club can just make a difference. Cheryl said every position is important. Okay, this is just one example of they shall promote harmony, good fellowship, life and enthusiasm in meetings through appropriate stunts and games, and the judicious imposition of fines on club members. Fines in quotation marks. I would come up with, give you any idea. Let's see, how do you win 30 grand? Who knows? Does anybody have a good joke? I need 2 people. We're gonna have a joke off. 2 people. We're gonna have 2 jokes and then we'll vote who's the funniest one. Semi-clean. You know, it doesn't have to be real, but semi-clean. Yes. And we've got you could be a $30,000 winner, whoever's the winner.
Give her a mic, give her a mic.
Here's Mike.
Okay, this is a Clinton joke that I was told, and I shared this with our AS walking. Clinton's out golfing with a buddy, and he hits a hole in one. Golf genie jumps out and says, you got one wish in the whole entire world. So he says, build me a bridge from here to Tokyo. Genie ponders it and says, nope, no, can't do. He says, you gotta give me a realistic. He says, you know my wife Hillary, can you make her the most beautiful woman in the world? Golf genie says 2 lanes are for it.
All right. Carla, we need, it's not a contest without a second, so we got a second.
Okay, so we're on golfing jokes, right?
So Tiger Woods meets Stevie Wonder in a bar. And Stevie Wonder says, let's go golfing at $1,000 a hole. And Tiger's like, okay. And Stevie says, meet you at midnight.
Not bad. I like that one. We want to choose between those two, or should we go with a third option? Third option. They want to hear some fun. What the heck? All right.
What does Yoko Ono and the Ethiopians have in common? They're both living off of dead Beatles.
Hey, Mr. Governor, who are you gonna grade? Choose which one you like.
No, have them applaud.
All right, quickie applause. Mary's last joke. Oh, all right. That's tough one. Gwen's second joke. Becky's first joke. Oh, we're going with the dead Beatles. There you go. See, sometimes simple is better. There's nothing wrong with being simple. No offense, simple, Mary. Now, all right, so as the tail twister, I can do anything. I can make the club fun. I can have fun. I can say, you know what? Next week, we're all wearing purple. Anyone that wears purple, you get a free get out of jail card for no fines that night. And even though we're not punishing for fines, they can still be exempt from fines. They're all wearing purple. It's fun. St. Patrick's March. Are we paying? We're past March. All right. Well, I'm a little late. I mean, okay, July 4th. Everybody wears red, white, and blue. Anybody not wearing red, white, blue? We're not going to fine you, but the ones that do, they get a extra special dessert, something like that.
Who can find the tail twister?
Only the district governor. Only this pranks. You can do some pranks. You can come up with trivia. This is an easy one. None of the guys up here can answer, but LCI, Lions Club International, the current international president was named earlier today. Who remembers what it was? All right, that's too easy. The acronym, and I'll follow through with this one. The acronym, there were two phrases given out for what LIONS stands for. The second one was in about changed from 1917-ish to 2009. Sid Scruggs, the initial or the international president at that time, changed it to this term. Anyone other than Ed can answer. All right, let's see. Anybody got it? Say Gwen, what is it? Say it loud so they can hear it.
Loving. And.
All right, anybody else remember? Because she choked. Laura? Someone, not single? This is not a table thing. Say it again. Yep.
Yeah.
There you go. Yes. So, I hope you're winning $30,000. You are correct. So, what can the tail twister do? Anything. Just make it fun. If you're kind of sort of spunky, stand up. All right. This girl does not want to be the tail twister, but she's going to be forced into the job. It's called voluntold, okay, by the district membership chairperson. So I got to come down there and make sure you're doing a good job.
Good luck.
Good. See, she's a natural. Otherwise, what else can we do? You can then simply take your bank around and go for donations, happy bucks. Let's see, who had something just for fun? Normally you'd raise $1 up and say something you did or something you're proud of. Mark, what'd you do lately that you're proud of?
I pray every day.
There you go. And you say, I pray every day. Today's a good day. I'm alive. Here's a buck. Mary's saying she's on her way to Harrison after this to hope that the gas is off in the cabin, literally. So they're driving up there after this, and I would raise a buck and I say, I hope the gas is off for her sake too. And you collect some bucks and you can extend it to anything you want. I'm gonna tease our club to say, okay, we're gonna stand up and make Sue introduce the newest lion in our club. Okay, or in our club, because Dan back here, Dan sitting by our newest, well, one of our newer lions, not newest lions. And if he says, I don't know, I wasn't listening to his name, then we might be able to say, you know what, I'm gonna fine you $1 for that. I'll say anyone who can tell us his name and what he does gets a free drink. Anything you want, make it fun. You know, so then people say, hey, that was a pretty good meeting. You know, I kind of like that gig you did with the stripper you brought in. Well, I mean, wait, no, that was after the meeting. Sorry about that. So sometimes even after our meetings, we happen to go to the local watering hole and we solve all of life's problems. Okay, now in the watering hole, clothes on, global buzz. You could quiz on what are the pillars of lionism. Now this, I'm going to tell you, is not the correct, all of the pillars. This is when I joined, I don't know, 15, 20 years ago. That's what we were taught. What do the lions do? Well, they're into vision, hunger, environment, and youth. All right, now let's see. Our next prize, this is like the bonus super duper prize. Okay, I'm going to give you a homemade Chicago popcorn from downtown Rockford. It's a good one. If no one gets it, it goes to Cheryl. So she's rooting. Oh, there's a dilemma. Does she root for you to be knowledgeable or against you so she wins? This is a team player here. I'm going to give you a hint. There are now 8 pillars of lionism. If anyone can answer all 8, it's caramel corn, Chicago corn, or us time. Anyone brave?
Nope.
Come on. If it makes you feel any better, I was up to 6 because a few years ago they divided the Utes into diabetes awareness and pediatric cancer research. Come on, that's 6 out of 8. You guys can't piece together 2 more? Cheryl's gonna be eating well tonight. So our tail twister could accidentally, purposely teach the club things without them knowing it. You know, kind of like what parents do to kids. You know, sometimes you teach them things without their knowing it. And, you know, sometimes you let them put their hand on that hot burner so they learn the hard way. But you can't, yeah, I know, you shouldn't smack club members, they frown on that. So anyways, your education of the day that you can take back to your clubs and say, did you know there's 8 pillars of lionism that we're working for? Here's your answer. This is what the lions do. Okay, that's the full 8 that I kind of sort of know again. All right, who are the lions? How am I doing on time? Should I cut her off or?
You're done now.
All right, I've got 3 minutes. John meant, I got 3 minutes, 4 minutes, I just spare minute. Who are the lions? You should all, and I won't, well, you know what? I've got one last tick. I got one, I got a pack of candy smokes. Nah, we won't do that. I got a, another 50 grander. And you don't even have to give out these whopping $2 tickets to your meeting. This is for the high rollers here. The best elevator speech. Everyone in here should have a Lions elevator speech. Does everyone know what I mean by elevator speech? No. Something short and sweet in about 3 lines, no more than about 30 seconds, that you can answer to somebody and say, hey, what do the Lions Club actually do? Who are they?
Explain why it's called an elevator.
Because when you're in an elevator and you push the button and no one wants to talk, you got like 30 seconds to ride to the next floor and not feel uncomfortable and give them an answer. So it's something down and dirty, quick and fast and easy. Our current tail twister in Rockford should have an elevator speech handy, but it's outside of the scope of her reign. But I did tell her I was gonna make her get up in front of the public. So unless her buddy behind her, Matt, wants to cover for her, I want to hear one of you two say an elevator speech.
I'll do it. I'll say it. Ron doesn't like it when I say this, but when you ask me what the Lions Club do, I say, well, we drink beer and we do cool stuff for the community.
Does anyone have a proper elevator speech? All right, one of our newer members. There you go. Say it loud.
Give the mic.
Give her the mic.
You wanna say it?
Mom's public speaking, don't let us believe it.
30 seconds, go.
Go.
We serve, we help our community, and we make a difference in the life of those around us.
Oh, nice.
Short and sweet, short and sweet. The longer version, you can say, hey, we're a group of 1.4 million individuals made up by men and women around the world, largest service organization in the world, and we like to find needs in our community and take care of them, period. You know, you can get longer and shorter, you can go into the second version and expand on it, or short and sweet, and that spikes their interest and say, all right, there we go. Okay, should we give it to the short and sweet or the drinking fool in the corner?
I can help you with that one.
Yeah, okay. She'll even share the winnings if you let her. Look at that. And no, they all aren't losers, so don't believe her. All right, so your elevator speech. Pride. You should have pride being a lion. This is an awesome organization. We are the largest service organization in the world. We're one of the few that gives back 100% of what we collect to our community. I put the quotation marks because a little bit does go international. So our community is the Lions getting bigger. We should have fun doing this. I love hanging out with you folks. No reason you can't have fun doing what we're doing. Serve. Yes, our motto is service. We serve. So you serve. The more service you do, the more involved you are, the more fun you have, the more friends you make, the more members we gain, the more service you do. And even though initially I was not a huge fan of LCI saying, well, our mission 1.5, here's the final quiz question that I'm not even going to quiz you on, is why do we want more members? They're not saying we just want 1.5 million members. They want to do more service. So how do we get more service done? You have more members. Oh, all right. So then I'll jump on board. I'll agree that more members, more service, more fun. New portal. Dr. Gary's mentioned it earlier. Use it, check it out. There's lots of free educating. If you want to scoot around through the portal, you can ask and look around, all that kind of stuff. My last tidbit of fact, if we're at 1.4 million now, we need 100,000 people. That's about 6% gain in the next 3 years. That's 2% per year. That big Ravenna club needs 1.2 people per year to gain for us to make this really super hard goal. Okay, big old Rockford at 104. We need a whopping 2 per year. Now, hopefully we're not going to kick the other 32 out that joined this year, but it is not that hard of a goal. The key is make it fun. Don't let them leave out the back door while they're walking in the front door. So you shut your back door by giving them some pride, giving them some satisfaction, giving them a task, service, put them on a committee, put yourselves on a committee, find something that your town needs and do it. It becomes fun. The more you do, the more fun it is. Any quickie questions for me? Oh, they want me to tell you that I get to announce pride in our meeting here. We gained $434 to Bear Lake Camp. If that doesn't make you guys proud, nothing, not much will. I mean, that's about as good as it gets. So, quickie questions, anybody have any questions? Yes, Dan? Oh, he's gotta show up in a meeting more than the second time in his Lions career. Otherwise, you know, a lot of people love those sporting those yellow colors too. But not bad, not bad. Yeah, artist service project. We will take care of him when we have an official orientation and we'll find him something. Karen Columba takes your name and size, so we gotta get that part first. Any other questions? Okay, take it back to your club, make it fun, make the tail twister charged. If you can't get them excited, then find a different tail twister. All right, let's hear it for Ryan Ron.
Hopefully this evening has been worth your time investment and mileage to come see us. Those that did pre-register will be receiving a $10 gas gift card. So, and we also
Everybody will
have,
get pins.
everybody will get pins
You have to be a Lion though.
as you leave. We're not kicking anybody out, so
You can stay.
stay as long as you'd like to, as long as it's not past 8. No, I'm kidding. But this meeting will be officially concluded here very shortly.
Thank you, thank you,
So we
thank
just
you.
want to thank you all for coming.
Thank you. And I was never.
So if you have any questions at all as the year starts or as you end this year, Lion Cheryl's available. Ron and I are also, and Gary are available anytime. You can find us in the roster book. Or you can go on the portal and you can also find us in that. You can reach our phone numbers, emails. You can text us or call us. Leave a message if we don't answer, but we're here to serve you guys as our district leaders. So you've now all taken a step above being just a simple Lions member like we all started. You're starting to try to learn more and become more engaged and become much more educated on the Lions Club and hopefully more comfortable. So are there any final questions for anybody that spoke this evening?
Oh, I've got one sec.
Anybody else?